We have amongst us today Dr. Prashant Narnavre, Commissioner Women and Child Department. Dr. Prashant Narnavre is an officer of Indian Administrative Service of batch of 2009. Currently, he is working as a Commissioner of Women and Child Development, State of Maharashtra. In past, he has served various parts of Maharashtra in various capacities. His strong inclination towards social work could be seen from his successful administrative interventions which were followed in other states also. He has a strong academic and research inclination due to which he has been involved in teaching and research activity with various academic institutions. In 2016, in International Conference on Higher Education at Rochdale University, Denmark, he not only coined the word community corporate but also theorized his concept, which he received wide acknowledgement for. In recognition of his academic distinction, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai, appointed him adjunct professor in the university. He has worked on various government committees and also has published various scholarly works in national and international reputed publications. Mr. Narnavre has also received many awards in recognition of his work. We are indeed privileged to have you, sir, with us today. May I request Dr. Narnavre to kindly address the audience.
Honorable Justice Upadhyay, sir, Honorable Chief Justice, Bombay High Court, Honorable Justice Mridula Bhatkar, ma'am, Honorable Deepa Paturkar, ma'am, Mrs. Vaijayanti Joshi, ma'am, Mrs. Gandhi, ma'am, all the dignitaries who are present in this august gathering. I am indeed privileged to be a part of today's program. My Lordship, this is a land of social reforms. It is a land where the first girls' schools was established by Savitribai Phule, Mahatma Phule, with a vision of Lokmanya Tilak, Gokhale, Justice Ranade. This city was shaped as the intellectual capital of this state which inspired the generations. My Lord, you are most welcome to this historic city. With the great Indian culture that we have, and we cherish the history of almost 5,000 years, we believe in Janani Janmabhumishcha Swargadapi Gariyasi. But we all know, in spite what we cherish, the condition of women is still compromised. Female foeticide, adverse sex ratio, domestic violence, dowry, child marriages are still crippling our society. Prevalence of these issues are more so in Maharashtra, more so in Marathwada region of Maharashtra, especially because of the historic context, because this region was previously in the Nizam's territory, and in 1948, after police action, it was incorporated into Maharashtra. I had a rare privilege to work in Osmanabad district of Maharashtra as a district collector. I still remember almost a decade back when I was collector, and around 3 p.m. when the normal time to meet collector starts every day without any appointment that was kept, I was sitting with my RDC next to me. A woman came to me with one child, a small child in her hand, and 2 boys, small boys, accompanied with her. She came and said that, "Sir, I was waiting for you since morning, and now I got an opportunity to meet you." I asked her what happened. She said that my husband drive me out of this house, his house. And my RDC, who was sitting next to me, he smiled and said that, "Sir, now this is also our work." So I said, "Everything below the sky of Osmanabad is our work." I asked her what happened, and she said in the morning she had a fight with her mother-in-law, and as a result of that, her husband drove her out. I asked what her husband does, and she said that he is a normal contractual laborer who's doing the painting work. I immediately rang my police inspector of Osmanabad city. I still remember Sheikh. So I called him and I said, Sheikh, I have one work for you. I'm sending one lady to you, and you must see to it that she goes her home within 1 hour. I feel in Maharashtra and normally in India, the administrative system is such, the word of DM is normally taken as a parameter. So he said, so immediately I shall do. The PI sent one constable to her husband. He called him and he said, see, I got a call from Collector Saab, and either you go inside now or you will take her with you. So choice is yours. Of course, he have taken the second choice and he took her with him. After a week's time, on the same time around, I saw the same scene. She came and approached me and I said, now again your husband drove you out? She said, no sir, now whenever he started fighting, I tell him that I will go to collector. So I came here to tell you that things are fine now. I feel our service has a great role to play to become parent, guardian and supporter of all those who do not have anybody, and I feel civil service definitely need to be more sensitized on the social issues. I still remember when I was occupying the same position, I got a letter from the Union Minister, then Women and Child, Mrs. Menaka Gandhi. And of course that letter was not in good taste. That letter was written by her to the 100 collectors of India, expressing her regret that there is an adverse sex ratio in your district, and I hope that you should be doing something about it. And of course, I was among those 100 unfortunate collectors. We definitely took it up. And I feel in 1 year, from 883 to 906, from 0 to 6 age group, our sex ratio increased. We had several with the Superintendent of Police and other, we have decoy cases and a lot of things, each Gram Panchayat, and we formed a standard operating procedure. Thankfully, Government of India took note of it. I was felicitated at the level of Union government, and the initiatives taken by us are today the standard operating procedure for combating the female foeticide. Today, when I'm working as a commissioner, commissioner WCD, just I have joined months back, I have overseen many issues like Sakhi Center, Shakti Mission, One Stop Center, Working Women Hostels. All these initiatives are getting carried out. But while seeing the issues on legal aspect, I feel that one thing, when I recently visited Amravati, I met a girl in one of our Balgruha who was kept in our Balgruha because both her parents were in jail. And I asked what happened to her. She said that there was a marriage and the police came, my parents are in jail and I am here. So I really felt bad. Of course, her parents were on the wrong side of law, there is no doubt. And whatever law has to do, law did it. At the same time, I really felt bad that we as a bureaucrat, officers, judicial officers, police officers, are we sensitive to the little girl? What is the problem of that little girl that she is now living like an orphan when her parents are still living? And what is a crime of her parents that they want her to get married? It is not just because they want their daughter to marry off very early. Maybe the standards with which we all live here and the standards and problems which people face in rural India, especially in the communities which are nomadic tribes, denotified tribes, so on and so forth, their problems are much more. And then I recall that when I was having a charge of Gopinath Munde Ustor Mahamandal, I studied the migration pattern that every year for sugar cutting, people from Marathwada, they migrate to many places outside, inside Maharashtra and even outside Maharashtra. And they have several vulnerabilities that I observed. One vulnerability is the girl who is adolescent. It's very vulnerable, especially when she accompanies their parents and there is no proper place to live. And then they feel if something happens to this girl, the entire life, we will be stigmatized, the family will be stigmatized, so they prefer to marry off the girl. And then we decided that we must do something about it. And today, we have Sant Bhagwan Baba Vastigruha in 10 districts of Maharashtra, one for girls and one for boys. 20 such hostels we have opened, so that whenever parents go for their work, girls, the children, can stay in our hostel. I feel these kind of initiatives, with great sensitivity, we as a people in government have to definitely take. Only then such problems which we see as a social menace need to be tackled. Otherwise, just by implementing law, if we try to tackle, we have to examine whether we are doing more harm to the family than the good. At the same time, we feel that Women and Child Development Department can really do a lot. I am extremely thankful to ILS Law College that they decided to work with us, especially in the districts of Marathwada. And I also offer all the esteemed principals of the Law College who are present here that WCD department will be very happy to start internship programs for various centers that we have. We have JJBs, we have CWCs, we have one-stop center, we have women helpline, we have child helpline. And if future litigating lawyers get opportunity to work with us, I feel whatever I have heard, Honorable Lordship, that we need to have a quality people to come and litigate in the high courts and Supreme Court so that the last person of the society get justice, and that is what the objective of the founding fathers of this nation. I feel that that could be achieved. At last, I feel we look forward for the guidance of Honorable Lordship to move ahead. Thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Narnavre, for that insightful speech. We are happy to have with us today Justice Mridula Bhatkar, President of Indian Law Society, with us. I request Justice Bhatkar to kindly deliver her presidential address.
Honorable Chief Justice Deepa Paturkar, Principal ILS, Vaijayanti Joshi, Secretary ILS Society, Mr. Narnavre, Madam Kavita Gandhi, Justice Shrikant Sathe, my sister Shalini Joshi Phansalkar, all the professors, principals of the colleges, 8 colleges from Marathwada, social workers who have come here, faculty of ILS College, the representatives of European Commission and Swiss Aid, and my dear students, good morning. My Lord, we are very grateful for accepting our invitation for this launching program, which is possible because of European Commission and the Swiss aid. The participants, the students, professors, teachers who are going to be involved in this project are really, they will be inspired by your presence. I welcome you not only to our law college, but also to Pune city, as Mr. Commissioner has said, because it is the city where it is a city of rich culture and education. The seeds of women's education were sown in this city by Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Savitribai Phule, and further it was taken up by Gopalrao Agarkar and Maharshi Dondo Keshav Karve. And that's why we women are here today. The moment of women emancipation and women empowerment is initially started by men, and therefore without cooperation of men, we cannot achieve the goal of women emancipation. It is said that Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao. But I say, and we always say, that Beta Padhao and Beti Bachao. So, domestic violence is not restricted only to India, but it is a global phenomenon. The idea of, in many times, the idea of manhood is related to having dominance over a woman, maybe a mother, a sister, wife, or daughter. And the easiest way to have a dominance is a physical violence. We have to identify the stereotypes, meet the gender bias, and for that, attitudinal transformation is required. The commissioner has mentioned about some incidents of rural Marathwada when he was having a posting. We are all eager to hear, my Lord the Chief Justice, and I will conclude my short address with one incident. As the commissioner was addressing you, I am really tempted to mention that incident. In the year 2001, I, along with my sisters, Justice Roshan Dalvi and Justice Shalini Joshi Phansalkar, we were entrusted a job of sensitizing the judges and other stakeholders in the court. At that time, I was conducting one workshop on this issue, on the gender sensitization at Rajasthan. And there, the senior district judges, police officials, and some lawyers from Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Delhi had come as trainee. As a regular exercise in this program, I asked them, what are the qualities of good wife? They said immediately, first quality is always, she should be beautiful. So I wrote beautiful, thereafter hard worker, loving, sincere, cooperative, obedient, then friendly, earning, and so on. Then I told the class that let us compare with the qualities of qualities of good husband. Then while comparing, we said that yes, beautiful, yes, handsome, friendly, friendly, cooperative, cooperative, then sincere, sincere, hard worker, obedient. There was a big pause. And we all, it was a mixed class of men and women, officers, I must mention. And then they were not ready to accept that husband also should be obedient. And after a lot of negotiations, we all agreed, not me, but they all agreed on a particular good quality, that is, husband should be, against the obedient, considerate So, and I just add one thing, that when we say obedient or obedience, it is a good quality or the characteristic of two persons. That is, one is servant, we say he is obedient, and second student, he is obedient. So it is a matter of servitude, and it percolates not only the rural, but it percolates from down to up, up to down. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Justice Bhatkar, for sharing those really interested insight of yours on gender-based violence. Now the most awaited moment, friends. We are indeed privileged to have with us the august presence of Honorable Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyay, Chief Justice of Bombay High Court. Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyay, born on 16 June 1965 at Muskarai, District Ahmednagar, Uttar Pradesh, completed his college education from Kolwin Talukdars College, Lucknow, graduated in law in 1991 from Lucknow University, enrolled as an advocate on 11th May 1991 and joined the chambers of his father, Shri R.A. Upadhyay, practicing at the Board of Revenue, Shri Muhammad Arif Khan, senior advocate, and Shri S.K. Kalia, senior advocate. Justice Upadhyay mainly practiced in civil and constitutional sides at the High Court of Judicature at Allahabad, Lucknow. He was further appointed as the Chief Standing Counsel, State of Uttar Pradesh in May 2007 and continued to hold that office till elevation as Judge of the High Court of Judicature at Allahabad. Appointed as Puisne Judge of the High Court of Judicature at Allahabad on 21st November 2011 and took oath as the Permanent Judge of High Court of Judicature at Allahabad on 6th August 2013. Became Senior Judge of Lucknow Bench on 28 March 2023, appointed and took oath as the Chief Justice of High Court of Bombay on 29 July 2023. May I request Honorable Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyay to kindly address the gathering.
Namaskar and a very good afternoon to all present here. Honorable Justice Mridula Bhatkar, President, Indian Law Society. Ma'am, may I ask you, should you negotiate or just persuade or even demand? This is the question, I leave it for you today. Mr. Prashant Narnavare, Commissioner, Women and Child. To him, I would only say that a letter from superior sometimes is a good omen. Ms. Vaijayanti Joshi, Honorary Secretary, Indian Law Society. Ms. Kavita Gandhi, Country Head, Swiss Aid. Dr. Deepa Paturkar, Professor and in charge principal of this college. Justice Shalini Joshi, very happy to find you here today, ma'am. This is Sathe. Mr. Narayan, Chairman, Governing Council, ILS, members of the governing body and governing council of ILS Society. Social activists, researchers, academicians, faculty members of this college and other colleges of Marathwada. Ladies and gentlemen, and above all, my dear students. To be here today makes me delighted for many reasons, not just one. I have never stepped out of UP to reach Maharashtra except once in 1997 when I had come to Bombay in connection with my sister's entrance examination for Tata Institute of Social Sciences. But I kept on hearing about ILS College, Pune. You have had such a good, enriching alumni base that you take the name of any good lawyer or a judge, you will find that he has studied here in Pune. The first reason of my delightment to be here today is that I am here in the intellectual capital of the state. I am also delighted to associate myself with the launching of this project undertaken by ILS Society in collaboration with Swiss Aid. I am also delighted to be amongst the students of this institution, whom I would deliberate and talk in due course of my interaction with them, not today alone, but otherwise as well. First of all, let me congratulate the Indian Law Society and the Swiss Aid to have undertaken this project. It's important not only because the project is working in the field of gender inequality, but also because it is working in Marathwada region. In my brief stay of about a month, I have once visited Aurangabad bench. What I understand and what I came to know is that Marathwada still is primarily an agrarian society. It has been hit by successive droughts. The agricultural society has its own peculiar problems based in its own societal and cultural history and roots. The issue relating to gender-based violence or early child marriages is prevalent in Marathwada because of various reasons. What I personally understand, I need to study more, of course. The basic reason is that this society still is primarily, basically, an agrarian society which has its own peculiar social relations and cultural value system. So I am very happy that this project has undertaken a study and this project is reaching the most needy people of the state in Marathwada region. This is one reason. The other reason, association of students with this project, association of academics with this project is also in a way a step ahead of only government initiatives. Students studying here or any law college in Marathwada are not only studying the law books. They are not only studying or they need not only study the legal subjects. Your future lawyers, your future judges, and I may tell you as a lawyer, as a judge, your horizon, your mental horizon has to be necessarily more and more widened. So unless you have this opportunity of interacting with the masses, with the general populace of the society, your education will be incomplete. That is my personal opinion. And the professor of law sitting here in this hall and on the dais perhaps must agree. What does that lawyer do? What is his job? Primarily, a lawyer carries somebody's pains on his shoulders and put it across to the court. So unless and until you have the opportunity to interact with the masses, with the general populace across the class in the society, you will never be able to kind of develop that sensitivity about the situations in which the people of this society, people of this country live. And unless and until you are able to identify yourself with his pain, you perhaps will not be able to plead his case in the court of law successfully. So this is the second reason why I am delighted to be here, and I find myself proud to be associated with this opening ceremony of this project. There are various initiatives which have been taken even by the judiciary at its own level. The primary and basic function of the judiciary, as you all understand, is to administer laws or administer justice. To my mind, administering justice means to give everybody his or her due. But of course, within the four corners of law. But administration of justice is not the preserve or field or arena of judiciary alone. I am very happy today to find a very sensitive commissioner of Child and Women Development, Department of Maharashtra government. As I said, administration of justice is not the responsibility of judiciary alone. It is the responsibility equally of the executive wing of the state. It is responsibility equally lies with the civil society members of civil society, the NGOs, and various other functionaries in the society. Depending merely on the government sector, perhaps will be demanding too much from them. We are a very large society. We are a poor society as well. Government resources may not be adequate to meet the challenges which our society faces. Equal contribution in administering law or bringing about a society where harmony is there, where peace is there, is the responsibility of the legislature as well. Now we have presently, one of the functions of the legislation, of course, is the social transformation, as you all must have studied. So if we talk about gender inequality or gender-related violence in the society, we have two very important enactments. One, of course, is the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act, which is a later enactment. It is in nascent stage. The other most important and perhaps more important enactment is NCPNDT Act. That also needs to be addressed. The prohibition, there is a legal prohibition of sex determination techniques at the preconception and prenatal stage. But somehow I have a feeling, I don't have the data available to me, so far as state of Maharashtra is concerned. Mr. Commissioner must be having adequate data to analyze as to the progress made in implementation and administration of NCPNDT Act. But my experience a little bit in state of Uttar Pradesh is that this act has not been utilized to act to its potential. The discrimination starts from there. Discrimination starts from the womb of a mother. That's the first stage the society enters into kind of discrimination. And see the irony. This discrimination is accepted. That's most ironical part of the whole situation. This kind of discrimination is accepted, encouraged, accepted to the extent of being encouraged in certain sections of the society. So this act also needs to be administered properly, not only by the courts. Primary administration of this act also lies on the shoulders of the executive. I understand, and it has been my observation and experience, that not more than 5 to 10% cases of violation of NCPNDT Act are brought to court. So if you go through the entire scheme of the Act, it is not only the government functionaries, but the NGOs, various other bodies created under that Act, which comprise of members of the civil society. They have to impart their role, they have to take up their role more effectively. Only then the matters will be brought to the court. Court's role in that act comes the last. So I would request the Commissioner, Women and Child Development present here, to take up this matter also, because this is very, very important. As I said, the discrimination starts from the womb of the mother. Then it is accepted. So what are the reasons? If one amongst you sitting here asks me as to what is my age, so I am 57, 58 years of age as on today. But I think, and this is true, please think over it, I am 2057, 58 years of age. I carry something which has gone in the society, in the system where I am born for 2000 years. So that baggage which we carry of past 2000 years, that needs to be shunned first. This is the major reason. Because of the baggage which we carry on account of social or cultural reasons, we tend to think that this kind of discrimination, even in the womb of a mother, is permissible. Not only permissible, it is acceptable, and it is, in some of the societies, it is preferred, despite an enactment for prohibition and having penal action. So this is the major reason, according to me, which acts towards the gender discrimination. So what all we need to do is to change our mindset. This baggage needs to be shunned. Whatever we have learned for 2058 years is to be unlearned first. And here comes the role of education. Here comes the role of legal education clinics. Here comes the role of students of law interacting with the rest of the societies. Here comes the role of District Legal Services Authority to educate, to make them aware that it is wrong. It creates further inequality. It not only creates, it shelters inequality. So we need to unlearn whatever we have learned in past. And this can come, this unlearning and thereafter learning can come only by legal awareness and a kind of awareness or legal education which is required not only amongst the students but amongst the general populace in the rural background, not only in the rural background as Justice Bhatkar told, it is prevalent even in the urban centers. These sex determination centers are not situated in rural areas. They are situated mostly in urban centers. But of course, there are touts working in the villages who bring those future mothers to those centers for determination of sex of the child in her womb. So all these aspects are to be taken care of, addressed, and I would reiterate that unless we change, what happens, in these matters, because of the baggage which we carry of past, we are always in a denial mode. We do not accept. We do not just accept. We do not feel that my simple act is leading to gender discrimination. We are always in a denial mode. We realize it at a very late stage. And this realization has to come at the earliest in one's life by creating more awareness, by creating better education amongst all. Justice Bhatkar has rightly said, Beta padhao, beti bachao. That is more important. That is perhaps more important. This patriarchy has its roots in culture. So that sense needs to be changed and further strengthened. Only then perhaps we will be able to attain the goal of equality. In any society, in any kind of polity, be it a dictatorship or democracy, democracy of different kinds, a dictatorial rule, the individual's freedom and equality, these are the two most cherished goals which a society aims for. Minus these two goals, what is an achievement by the society? So equality, the idea of equality, runs as a common thread throughout our constitution. It is not only equality to women. It is not only equality, gender-based equality. So if we fail to provide the equal opportunities and to the woman or child in the society, where are we heading to? We will never be able to achieve our constitutional goals. So on this occasion, I would urge, I would request, and I would again make a stronger request to all the stakeholders to first of all create such kind of awareness where this belief that woman has been assigned a particular role in the society, that itself withers away, else, in my view, in my considered view rather, we will not be able to eliminate the gender-based inequality, and unless we are able to eliminate gender-based inequality, the issue relating to domestic violence against women will also not be eliminated. The primary point where we should hit is elimination of our thought process, change of stereotypes, gender-based stereotypes, and change of our mindset. So we need to work on these aspects more. Our Supreme Court has come up with a very laudable handbook on gender stereotypes. I would request the principal of the institution to get a printout of that handbook and to distribute amongst all students, not only amongst the women, especially to the male students of the college. That will go a long way. So with these words, I would again emphasize that the legal awareness, legal education, awareness amongst the masses, and in this endeavor, the District Legal Services Authority can be of immense help. That authority can be of immense help because one of the mandates as per the enactment where the Legal Services Authority has been created is the education as well. So they organize legal camps, legal awareness clinics. So in those legal awareness clinics, apart from creating awareness about legal aspects of the matter, the socio-cultural reasons for such kind of discrimination should also be taken up. And in that endeavor, Legal Services Authority, which are now available in each district here in Maharashtra as well, and with a dedicated officer to look for the affairs of the secretary looks after the work of the District Legal Services Authority. He doesn't have any other work. So District Legal Services Authorities can be very, very helpful. They can be taken, their help can be taken. They can be engaged more vigorously to create this awareness. With these words, I would once again thank the ILS Society governing body, Madam Bhatkar, everybody present here, to have given me this opportunity. Any interaction with the students is always a process, is a learning process. When I visited Aurangabad, I discussed the historical roots with my fellow colleagues there. So that gave me a fair idea of what kind of society Marathwada has. We are going to celebrate 75th Independence year of Marathwada Mukti Sangram Din on 17th of September. And hopefully our CJI will be coming here. So once again, thanks to the organizers, to everybody present here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Justice Upadhyay, for a very holistic view of yours on gender-based violence, right from cultural, administrative to the legal aspects, and thanks for your guidance. Before we conclude the ceremony, may I request my colleague, Dr. Suvarna Nilak, to kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Swati Madam. Good afternoon, everyone. Respected Honorable Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyay, Chief Justice, Bombay High Court, Justice Mridula Bhatkar, President, Indian Law Society, Mrs. Vaijayanti Joshi, Honorary Secretary, Indian Law Society, Mr. Prashant Narnavre, Commissioner, Women and Child Department, Government of Maharashtra, Mr. P. Narayan, Chairman, Governing Council, Indian Law Society, Dr. Deepa Paturkar, Professor, Additional Charge, Principal, ILS Law College, Principals of various law colleges in Marathwada, Mrs. Kavita Gandhi, Country Head Swissed, other dignitaries, my fellow colleagues, participants and students, it gives me immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of Indian Law Society and ILS Law College today. At the outset, we would like to express our gratitude to Honorable Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyay, Chief Justice Bombay High Court, for accepting our invitation to grace the occasion as Chief Guest. Sir, we are really grateful to you for launching the project and delivering such a wonderful talk. We appreciate the time and effort you put to grace this event and make it a success. Thank you, sir. We are also thankful to Dr. Prashant Narnavre, Commissioner, Women and Child Department, for not only accepting our proposal of collaboration, but also personally attending today's launching event. Sir, your talk actually gave valuable insights into the cause we have taken up, and it will inspire us to take action. We are assured that through the collaboration with Women and Child Department and the One Stop Crisis Center, we will be able to achieve a visible change in the cause. Thank you, sir. We are grateful to Honorable Justice Nitin Jamdar, Executive Chairman, Maharashtra State Legal Services Authority, for accepting our invitation to collaborate for the project. Though sir couldn't attend today's program, we are sure that the collaboration with Maharashtra Legal Services Authority and District Legal Services Authorities will help us in strengthening our legal aid movement. We are thankful to the representatives of District Legal Services Authorities from 8 districts of Marathwada and for their presence and dedication to the cause. We express our gratitude to Mr. Rahul More, Joint Commissioner, Women and Child Department, for his efforts and gracious presence. We put on record our immense gratitude to the European Commission and Swiss Agency for Development Corporation for the financial assistance to support the cause. We want to express our gratitude to Swissed India for their help and collaboration, which spans over a decade. Special mention goes to Ms. Kavita Gandhi, Sneha Girdhari, and Mr. Achyut Burgaonkar for their valuable support. It has been a pleasure working with you, and we sincerely appreciate your faith in us. We are looking forward to continued success in our joint endeavors. We thank principals and legal aid coordinators of 8 law colleges in Marathwada region. Without your collaboration and support, we would not have been able to take up this challenge. Special mention to Principal C.M. Rao and Abhay Jadhav from MP Law College, Professor K.V.S. Sharma and Mr. Ashok Varze from Maharashtra National Law University, Aurangabad, Dr. Nitin Chaudhary and Dr. Sanjay Ambekar from Bapuji Salunke Law College, Usmanabad, Dr. Rajesh Deshmukh and Dr. Gyanendra Fulzhadke from Shri Shivaji Law College, Parbhani, Dr. Pramod Wagmare, Dr. Tarannum Sheikh and Mr. Rohan Sarde from Swatantriya Senani Ramrao Avargaonkar Law College, Beed, Professor S.J. Gore and R.P. Pawar from MSS Law College, Jalna, Dr. Poonam Nathani and Dr. Shubhangi Pancha from Dayanand Law College, Latur, Dr. Amol Karwa and Pratima Bandewar from Narayan Rao Chauhan Law College, Nanded. We put on record the contribution of our partners, Manavlok, Hello Medical Foundation, Gramin Mahila Vikas Sanstha in the project. We are thankful to the Women and Gender Studies Center, Savitribai Phule Pune University, for collaborating for the preparation of the training module and the reference material. Special mention to Dr. Anagha Tambe and Dr. Swati Dehadrai. We also place on record the contribution of everyone who is associated with us directly or indirectly in the implementation of this project. Special call out to Dr. Jaya Sagde and Dr. Manisha Gupte for being a part and parcel of this entire project right from its conceptualization. We immensely appreciate the guidance of Justice Mridula Bhatkar, President, Indian Law Society. Madam, your support throughout this event has been a great inspiration for all of us. We deeply acknowledge the stewardship of Mrs. Vaijayanti Joshi, Secretary, Indian Law Society, and express our gratitude to her for always being a source of inspiration and leadership. We are thankful to Mr. P. Narayan, Chairman, Governing Council, and all the members of Indian Law Society for their generous support. We thank all invitees and attendees, including Justice Shalini Phansalkar and Justice S.R. Sathe for their kind presence. We are thankful to our Principal, Dr. Deepa Paturkar, for her never-ending support and valuable insights. A very special mention to students from participating law colleges for registering for the training program and also for making the wonderful posters which are displayed outside this very auditorium. We are grateful to the entire teaching and non-teaching staff of the ILS Law College for their continuous support. We are thankful to our volunteers and student participants for their participation. To conclude, let me once again reiterate our gratitude to one and all present here for being with us today and helping us in making this launching event a memorable one. Thank you, everyone.
We are indeed thankful for your time and patience. Have a nice day ahead.